Ladies and ugly men, Handsome Contreras here. Welcome to Handsome Island. And this is Watch Me Make It, where we talk mindset, money, and real estate. Yes, I'm doing better. I know that's what y'all wanted to hear. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that reached out, everybody that was kind, everybody that saw the video and could relate to it, which was the mask of functional depression, because it's something that people might not be aware of, and realistically, I noticed more so, especially with some of the feedback, there are some people that are just a little bit ignorant, right? And I don't want to shit on them. I don't want to say anything negative towards them. They're good people. They're just very, very misinformed. I saw a lot of people say statements like, depression isn't real. You just have to stay positive. Or, hey, you know what you should do? Read this book. Or, hey, when that happens, man, you really need to go for a walk. I get it. And these are all valid points. Inner winner wiring is about that, right? That's been my secret sauce to dealing with depression. But if for any minute you believe depression isn't real and there's no science behind it, you are very, very ignorant. And I think the bigger problem is I often see it with people that are educated in certain walks of life assume that they're educated in every walk of life. I see a lot of people that do personal development look on it and shade you for saying, hey, I'm depressed, because what they're fed by these Tony Robbins conferences and School of Greatness and all these different things is, hey man, it's just a mind state. You got to get into flow state. If you're able to just fight it, you got to prepare yourself. You just got to think it away. Replace those thoughts with better thoughts. Thanks for the advice, but I will say this again. If you have not been diagnosed with clinical depression or any form of it, your advice, because that's all it is kind of unwarranted. I'm going to be honest. I'm not trying to be mean. These are good people with good hearts and very good intentions. They mean well, but they read a little bit too many books and haven't really been in the field, right? Like my brother's a retired Marine, 21 years in the service, did about 10 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, all throughout that war. I wouldn't dare for one single fucking second tell him it really wasn't that bad, bro. You were able to go out there and make tax-free income. Like, those are pluses. Why? Because I ain't never been in that battlefield. I don't know what it's like to have bombs blown over me. Bullets, choo, 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 choo. The enemy coming over the line, losing people. And I know you may think that's dramatic, bro. You're just talking about depression and feelings. Well, yeah, that's how that battlefield is for people like myself that go through that. I've changed a lot throughout the years. I used to be so ready for war. Like I would battle this out with people. And the biggest lesson in my life was when I was in the car biz. I remember being 28 at the time, and James Goldstone, man, old black dude, Vietnam veteran. He would always tell me stories about how, Long Island was back when he was young, and the segregation, the things that he had to go through. Certain parts of the highway you couldn't go past if you were colored. He introduced me to a Tuskegee Airman once, brought him by the dealership, and it was like one of the most humbling experiences of my life, right? Because I don't know what that's like. But I remember there was another person there. His name was, let me not say his name. I'm going to put him out there. But he goes to me one day. We were talking about another coworker that was depressed. And I'm letting her know, yo, listen, I know what you're going through. I've been going through this all my life. And he's like, going through what? You guys don't go through nothing. Yo, that's all here, bro. That's all here. In the morning, if you tell yourself you're depressed, you're going to be depressed. And I said, are you out of your mind, man? Are you that ignorant? This is like a hormonal imbalance for some people. Yes, there are different levels of depression. Let's not get it twisted. There are different levels of depression. Some of it is just like a higher sadness. But for most, the people that really go through it, no, man, it's genetic. There's stuff going on that they can't even explain. Matter of fact, let's look this up, bro. 1 minute. Let me get you a valid definition. Depression. Do some Mayo Clinic. Get real info. All right. Depression. Can it be scientifically proven? Listen to this. Studies show that hormones and brain chemistry, not mumbo jumbo, specifically, this is science, people, listen to me. Neurotransmitters also contribute to depression. So yes, other factors do contribute. Stress contributes. Your thought patterns contribute. Your eating habits contributes. Your diet contributes heavily. It does. Generally speaking, people who suffer from depression frequently have different levels of certain hormones and reduced activity in specific neurotransmitter centers than individuals without depression. This is science-based, people. So I remember at the time when this dude said this, and I remember I was like going at him, and James pulled me aside. He said, come over here. Come over here. Let me ask you something. I said, what's up, man? What's up, James? You know how it is, bro. I know exactly how it is. Hence why I'm pulling you aside. He said, would you take marriage advice from a 10-year-old? I'm like, no, why the fuck? Exactly. So why would you take advice from a happy-go-lucky motherfucker who ain't never been through a little bit dramatic? That's always been James. But when he said that, man, that was like 28. I was 28 at the time. It really reframed a lot of other things for me in life. It made me realize sometimes you have to look at people from where they're at and understand they only see life from that lens. Be careful if you do the same. That's why I'm very, very specific when I'm speaking to people and they're trying to tell me a story or let me know where they're coming from. I try my best to remove my judgments, to remove my perspective, my points of view, and things that I might have gone through in life or that I go through in life or rituals that I have, and say, where's the full story with this person? Where is it coming from? Because the last thing I want to do is not see from their point of view. People don't understand this. Empathy is not the truth. It's not reality. It's the other side's point of view. So when you're being empathetic, it doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what's really going on. You got to put yourself in their shoes and how they're seeing it. That's all it is. So in the same light, now I have to use that in reverse. So when someone's coming at me for stuff that they have no clue about, what do? I yes them to death. It's not because I'm an asshole or because I think they're an asshole. It might be because I think they're an asshole. But it's typically because what are we doing here? It's the same thing I say every time. Like someone's talking to me about building a business, but they've never built a business. They've been a worker all their life, or they've been handed a business. I can't sit there and take their advice. I can't. It's ignorant of me to do that because they don't know what it's like to put their name on the line. They don't know what it's like to actually have to go do certain things and build from scratch themselves. So in the same light, when people come and talk to me about mental illness or come talk to me about certain things that they never been through, I can't take it serious, but nor will I debate it. Ignorant, younger me would debate it. I was a hothead. It's my nature. Like I'm competitive. I'm just out for your neck. I don't like people testing me, but I've learned with time, like, yo, it ain't worth it. So I say that to say everyone that just wants to be on their little high horse talking about depression ain't real, this and that, that's your point of view. But the actual point of view in the big grand scheme of things, you know, like in the real world, in the scientific world where things get proven and studies are done, and it's not somebody reading a book or, you know, your favorite guru telling you steps on how to get away from things. That's what it is. It's a real thing. It's a disease. Be more compassionate. Careful with the words that come out of your mouth. Understand when you're talking to certain people, find out first where they're coming from before you just vomit out whatever it is that's crossing your mind or you think is cool, because that ain't always it. Like I said before, I don't want to offend anybody. I ain't here to start no problems. I can handle it if need be. But that's not my place. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here actually to provide positivity. I'm here to provide help. I'm here to provide knowledge to those that may seek it. People going through similar situations. For those of you that did shout me out, for those of you that did check in on me, I thank you and I appreciate it. I'm back on my feet. We get into it. I will say I'm still struggling a bit, but that's normal. But I'm nowhere near where I was a week ago. I'm getting through it. And I hope that my next update on this situation is even better. But I'm also not afraid if it reverts a bit. That's the nature of this thing here we talking about. That's the nature of this make-believe disease. I ain't trying to be so I'm being factual, man. Ladies and ugly men, thanks again for joining me. Anybody going through anything, you need to reach out, holla. You know where to find me. And never forget, God is good, God is grand, God is great. Stay favored. Yeah.